Alright guys, let's talk about Berachain for the first time on this channel. Now keep in mind this was actually a hodler airdrop back in February. I sold this out for a little bit more than $7 per BERA. And yeah, now that it's about 7 months old, we probably should take a little bit of a look at it and see what's going on, because it looks like some interesting things are going on here. Now, what I can see is that we do have somewhat of a W pattern here. We have this, left side is a little bit lower than this right side, and that's actually what you want to see. Now, let me put this on a daily time frame because it's a little bit more clear here. And we do have a neckline about right here, guys. So we have already broken this neckline. That's actually a good thing to see. On the daily time frame, we just need to close this candle in the next several hours. And yeah, if we do that, the target would be up here at about $3.32. Now, there are a couple more resistances here. We got to get through about $2.89 and then about $3.25. Now, of course, this is only a technical target. Do I expect it just to come up here and stop at about $3.32 and hang out here on this line? Probably not. It probably would actually get stuck under about $3.25 in my opinion, and probably just do something like this for a while, before it broke through. So anyways, guys, that is what I am seeing, at least with technical analysis here, the technical targets of patterns and things. But let's jump into some other technicals here. Now, looking at the volume profile, this is kind of amazing. It shows Berachain getting up to about $54 that first week. So not sure. I did not see $54, that's for sure. And I sold it like $7. So I don't think, this is actually true. But anyways, let's just take a look here. Let's get rid of this big wick and kind of zoom in here. I don't think it makes much sense to look that high. Now, we can see that Berachain is actually above the point of control here. That's a good thing. The point of control is about $2.10. So it's sitting about 45 cents above that at the moment. So that's a good sign. But we do need to get above, like I said, $3, let's say 25, 26, and then we clear this volume candle. So after that, it looks like about $5.42 will be the next candle to clear. And then you have about $7.65 or so. And then we have this candle here sitting at about $9 and let's say 82 cents or so. But once we get above that, there's really nothing to hold us back. Now, keep in mind, this has only been trading for about 7 months. So while these, candles look big, they're actually not that big. So in reality, if this was trading for 7 years, that would be a bit different. So there really, isn't too much that's going to hold back Berachain, in my opinion. Once you get above about $5.45 or so, when you clear this candle here, I think it's going to be really easy to go up. Now, looking at the Bollinger Bands, the weekly time frame hasn't been printing that long, basically since mid-June, and it looks like it is coming in to pinch a little bit, though. So this is a little bit interesting. We do have this line coming down, this line, coming up, but it's not really there yet, I would say. But let's take a look on the daily time frame. Now, daily time frame, it looks like it got a pinch back July 9th. It ran up a little bit here. But basically, it's still pretty wide, I would say, on the daily time frame. So, daily time frame, nothing, I would say. But, the more interesting thing is this weekly time frame that does look like it wants to come in and pinch here. Now, looking at the stochastic and the RSI here, it looks like the blue line has just crossed this red line to the upside on stochastic. It's in neutral territory, sliding upwards, and basically the RSI is sliding upwards too. That's good. Now, the 4-hour time frame, this is not so great. I mean, it is pointed down. Again, it is in neutral territory. RSI also in neutral territory, but kind of flat. Now, let's take a look at the 1-hour time frame here. Oversold here, but this blue line actually just crossed the red line to the downside, but I don't think it can go down much more. So I do anticipate this curving back up shortly. This is the 1-hour time frame, so it moves quicker than the other time frames we're looking at. The RSI is a little bit flat here too, but again, right in the middle. Now, 15-minute time frame, The blue line actually has crossed this red line to the downside just recently here. And, I do anticipate that this will go back up, of course. RSI is slightly pointed up here. So just putting this on a 4-hour time frame, let's take a look. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to have enough to get through $2.89, of course. It's probably, in my opinion, going to try to hold on to at least this $2.51 mark, and it's going to try to reset some of those indicators. That would be a win in my book, especially if we can put a daily over the $2.51 mark. Now remember, there was a neckline here earlier in this video that I've just deleted to get rid of the clutter. So yeah, that would be definitely a win in my book. Now, just looking at the MACD on the daily time frame, we do have a green period here. We do have dark green candles. The blue line is pointed to the upside here. And let's take a look at the full history. Now, it has been a lot higher. Basically, when it started back here, it was, 0.65? It's just sitting at 0.10, so it can run a long way. And, this doesn't have a full cycle or anything under its belt, so it can probably go a lot higher. But who knows how high it can really go. But again, we are getting a green period here. We do have the blue line pointed to the upside, so this is actually pretty good. Now, looking at Berachain and the tokenomics here, it's the number 256 coin at the moment. It says 5.7% up right now. The max supply is infinite, unfortunately, but the circulating supply is a little bit less than 125 million. And the total supply here is 506 million. So that actually is not too bad. Now, if we go down, we look at the all-time high. Here it says $14.83. Now, I think I remember something about that. I did sell it a little bit too early. But, look at it now, guys. It's at $2.56. I sold it a little bit more than $7. So, yeah, if I would have held it, what would I have held it for? Now, the all-time low was about 2 months ago. If you bought it at $1.51, that's a good buy, guys. Now, I do think, if we look at this all-time high at almost $15, with this supply, this low supply circulating 124, 125 million, can it get back to $15? Certainly. Yeah, definitely, guys. So, we just have to wait and be patient, I guess. I don't plan to pick up any of this, though, in my, and I just have enough coins on my plate. I don't really need one more. And the fact that I would have to buy 100 and, fork out about $250 for this, I just don't have that at the moment, guys. So, we'll see how this does probably this bull run. And maybe next bull run, this will be something that I do consider, because if they keep the tokens really low like this, it's probably not a bad buy. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have partnerships with 10 exchanges here. You can also find Moodix here and get a free 7-day trial, and you can follow me on X here. Now, jumping over to Bitcoin, you can see that it is struggling to stay above these supports here. And right now we have the $114,128 support right below us. I don't anticipate us getting above these two supports that we've lost on the daily time frame. But keep in mind, these are really weak supports. They're daily supports, so I like to say that weekly supports are 7 times stronger than dailies. So anyways, guys, not looking too good with Bitcoin, unfortunately. But if we jump over to Ethereum, it looks a lot better, actually. It's hanging on pretty good. It needs to get about, $10 higher, and then it hangs on to this support right here. Now, is it going to hang on to this support at, $48.15? Probably not, unfortunately. That's, another like $70 above us. Yeah, so let's see, but I do think we will probably pull ourselves above this support at least. And, the fact that it's not hanging out down here is pretty good. That shows you the strength of Ethereum. Now, looking at the total market cap, you can see it's trying to hang on to 3.92 trillion, did retest 3.9 trillion as well. Did get a little bit of a bounce today. Now, the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, yeah, it looks like Ethereum almost. Yeah, it did come down to touch 1.62 trillion. It did get a pretty good bounce today. But that's, that's a good sign in my opinion that we are hanging on to this, and we are still pretty high up here. because basically, you know, a lot of times you get these big pullbacks and you pull back like 50, 60, 70%. Now again, my favorite chart here is the Bitcoin dominance. It is still going down, so this is a good sign. We still have one more day on the weekly time frame. So let's look at this on a weekly time frame. Now remember, a couple of weeks ago, it did get support here, but again, eventually it did break down that following week. So let's see if this will actually end up one big wick here. Maybe it does get support. But, you know, in my opinion, I don't really expect it to, but it can. Remember, these green lines are weekly supports and resistances. Now, the USDT dominance did go up a little bit today, but nothing too major. It's still below this resistance here at 4.31%. Again, this is the daily time frame that we're looking at it, and if we look at it on a weekly time frame, actually it looks like it got a huge rejection. So this is a nice candle to see, in my opinion. This just shows you that there's a lot of pressure to the downside, and eventually people are going to start spending their USDT. Now the altcoin season index is hanging out at 61 still, so that's actually a good sign. Liquidation heat map has come down a little bit. 234 million have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. So I think the last time we looked at it, it was something like 700 something million in the last video, I think this morning. Now, if we look at the liquidation heat map in this way, it looks like there's a little bit more liquidity above us than below us. So that's, you know, pretty good in my opinion. Now the fear and greed is at a 60. We do get an update in about 3 hours. It did come up from 50 yesterday. I'm actually surprised it didn't come up a bit more. The bull market peak indicators still 0 from 30 have been hit. This is why I'm not in the rush to sell, guys. So 100% hold at the moment. The pi cycle top indicator still pretty far from crossing. Now next week on the economic calendar, guys, Monday we don't really have anything. Tuesday, FOMC member Williams will be speaking. We have core durable goods orders. We have HPI numbers. We have consumer confidence, Atlanta Fed GDP now. Wednesday is a dead day. Thursday, we have jobless claims, core PCE prices, Q2, GDP. We also have Waller speaking. And on Friday, we have PCE price index. We've also got personal spending. We have Chicago PMI. We got Michigan numbers. So we really have a lot going on next week, so I do expect a lot of volatility due to the economic data that will be coming out. Now remember, there is still risk-off sentiment according to Moodix here. Now, Friday was actually a pretty nice day. The week ended pretty solid. The month is still down, but we have about 7 days, a little bit more than 7 days right now, to actually make this positive. But now, keep in mind, this risk-off sentiment is fading as well. So this is a good thing. It does mean that we're more trending towards risk-on, which risk-on means crypto assets. Now, nothing's really changed here with FedWatch tools since my video this morning. It's at 75% for a cut, 25% believe we are not getting a cut. Now, Trueflation still also 2.12% here, so it's around what the Fed really wants. Crypto bubbles, not so good today. It's kind of flip-flopping back and forth. We do have a few greens here, but nothing major. Now, if we go to Coinundo again, guys, it's still not working. I don't know what's going on with their website. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Anyways, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell. Like I said, check out some of those deals that I have below in the description. It really helps me when you use my links, guys, because I do get commission. It's very small unless you're a mega trader. But anyways, it keeps me motivated. And guys, we're over 1,500 subscribers now. And I really thank you all. And guys, I will see you in the next one.